Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you all are doing well, man. In this video, we're going to talk about some things I wish that I knew before I started Red Dead Online. But before I get into that, man, if you enjoy this type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I make guide and tip videos all the time. And by hitting the subscribe button, it'll ensure you don't miss the next video. Plus, it helps my channel out tremendously. So now that all that's out of the way, let's get right into it. All right, so one of the first things I wish I knew before I started Red Dead Online, and it's going to be like the elephant in the room, is that you're going to feel like, especially in the beginning, that there are terrible players that are throughout the game. You're going to run into them all the time. It's going to feel like you don't run into any good people at all. It's always terrible people that are always picking on you, always smoking you for no reason, always robbing you for no reason, and you're going to get a little bit discouraged, especially in the beginning when you're at that lower level. But I want to tell you that that is not actually the case, right? You're going to feel like it's a lot of bad people. There are actually a lot of good people in the game. There's a lot of great communities in the game, and there's going to be a lot of people in the game that's going to actually want to help you level up and get better at the game. So don't get discouraged when you're running into those people who are just jerks. You're going to find some good people in the game. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. All right. So with that being said, the next thing that I wish I knew is that you need to get out of the town that the game initially spawns you in. Get out of the town. And most of the time it's roads. Get out of that town. Go out into like McFarland Ranch, Emerald Station. Go out someplace a little bit more secluded because you're going to need to be away from that city because that's where all of the higher level guys are going to be. They're going to be in the towns. They're going to be in the cities. So you're going to run into them more. So until you get your bearings and you really understand the mechanics of the game and you could defend yourself, stay out of the cities. If you have to go into the cities, make sure you're going in and doing exactly what you need to do. Make sure you know where you need to go. Get in and get out. Don't really hang out in the cities because, again, you're not going to be equipped to be able to protect yourself. Now, once you are, you can stay in the cities and go for what you know. But until then, stay out of the cities until you get leveled up and you can handle yourself. I wish I learned about defensive mode early and learned how to turn it on early. So defensive mode protects you from other players early game and pretty much throughout the game. But it's more important when you're at that beginning level. So defensive mode prevents them from auto locking onto you. They really have to aim to be able to hit you. And then if they do aim and hit you, they do get a bigger penalty for going after somebody who's in defensive mode. And it's a little bit harder for them to hit you in defensive mode. Okay, so how you turn on defensive mode is you hit left on the D-pad, then you go down to online options, then you select play style, and then you change it from offensive to defensive. It'll give you a little 20-second timer, and then it'll let you know that defensive mode is on. You can also tell by camp because you're red and you have a red and white flag instead of just a red flag. When you have both of those flags up, that means you're in defensive mode, and your camp is in defensive mode, so really can't anyone come in and smoke you in your camp or while you're out in the wild. So defensive mode was key and helping me to be able to level up without those jerk players just being able to smoke me for no reason. I also wish I knew that there is a way for me to really defend myself and to scare off those higher level players that are coming to attack me, really those joke players in the beginning, early game. So what you need to do is that if anybody's ever coming after you, they're higher level and they're chasing you down and they're trying to smoke you, fight back. But here's how you fight back. Don't focus on so much of trying to hit at them because it's going to be a little bit harder. They might have popped a health tonic, so they might have a little bit of armor on them, but their horse has no armor. So shoot at their horse. You shoot at their horse, I guarantee you they're going to stop and they're going to pull away. Once their horse start getting hit a couple times, they're going to pull away, and it'll either give you enough time to get away or they're going to turn and be like, I'm not going to mess with him because I don't want to lose my horse. Because what happens is if any player horse dies, whether it falls off a cliff or gets shot, the game automatically gives you a temporary horse, which is the worst horse in the game. It doesn't even go the right direction you want to go. It's a terrible horse, and no one wants to have that horse for any amount of time. So shoot at their horse and they'll either run or you'll smoke their horse and they'll be down and you'll have time to get away. But don't focus on hitting them. Focus on that horse. That horse, every single time they'll run, that'll protect you. And that's a way that you can fight back. One of the next things I wish I knew before I started the game was that you can do everything from your camp. You don't necessarily have to go to a town to do anything. You could do every single thing you need to do from your camp. You can pay bounties from your camp. You don't have to go to the post office. You can get goods shipped to your camp. You can check your lockbox, get all the goods you order from the guide and into your satchel. You can get it all. You can go through all of your stuff that you want. You can do the trader role. You could do a lot of things from your camp that will help you not to have to be able to go into town so much. So you could do all of the like everyday necessity things at your camp. So take advantage of that so that you're not running back and forth to a town. Next, I wish I knew that with all the roles, there are going to be some roles that are going to feel tedious, and there's some roles that are going to feel like they're really fun. And to me, the most fun role out of all of them is the bounty hunter role, because you get to feel like you're a bounty hunter. You're going out doing all these bounties. You can get around a cooldown by going to just a different board, traveling to another town, getting on their board, going through their board. So you really feel like you can always constantly do the bounty hunter role. Some of the other roles, you feel like there's a cooldown, like with the collector role. Once you collect all of a set, they scatter them all out. You got a cooldown. There's a cooldown for the naturalist role, especially if you hunt in between. You're going to get a cooldown for that. So, those are more tedious roles. And same thing with the trader. There's not really a cooldown with the trader role, but it just takes a long time for you to get the materials, get them processed, then get them shipped and ready to go. It's like a little process. Same thing with the moonshiner role. There's a process. So it's a time you got to wait before the goods are ready to be to service. So it's that wait time that kind of makes it feel like it's tedious. But with the bounty hunter role, it's a constant flow of bounties you can always get. So you never really feel like you run into a cooldown, and it's just fun because it's always action, to where you can do a trader run and it's not really much action. You can get to point A to point B and nothing happens. So I wish I knew that the bounty hunter role will be the role that I have the most fun with. So I should stick with that in the beginning, because and that helps you get accustomed to the game, especially the fighting. The other roles, they're good at helping you level up. So that's something I could do later. But when I want to learn the mechanics of the game, especially defending myself, and I want to have fun in between, it's that bounty hunter role. That's the role I should have started with first, opposed to the other ones. The next thing I wish I knew I need to be doing those day-to-day things every single day. Like eating, for one. You need to eat, especially at your camp, and that the camp has a stew that you can eat for free. So you don't necessarily have to go out and hunt and cook and stuff like that. You can, but the stew is at your camp, and it can help you with different boosts with the different level of stew that you can have. So the stew is great because it feeds you and it keeps you full. Now, you have to stay at a certain healthy weight. Once you get under healthy weight, you're going to get a negative to your health, and if you're overweight, you're going to get a negative to your stamina. So making sure you stay within a healthy weight is important. Making sure you're eating, and like doing those also day-to-day things with my horse, making sure my horse is brushed, making sure it's fed, because the horse does get negatives as well with those things, that if it's dirty or not fed and things like that. So making sure that my horse is healthy and fed and on point, and making sure myself is healthy and fed and on point is key, so that I'm not getting any other passive negatives that I didn't even know about. Next, I wish I knew how important ability cards are. Those ability cards get glossed over so much, but they are key. They help you out tremendously, especially in combat. Just reading and putting together the right loadout that helps your play style and give you buffs that you'll need. Those ability cards are key, man. So I wish I didn't gloss over the ability cards in the beginning, and I really focused on setting up the ability cards that I need that will best suit my play style, so that I'm getting those buffs that I need, especially in the combat. So I wish I focused on ability cards in the beginning and not later on when I realized that, these do actually work. They're just not for show. I wish I knew about the Red Dead Online collector map early. I found out about it like mid-game, but I wish I knew about it early, because it would have helped me out tremendously. And knowing that I can just go to Google, type in Red Dead Online collector role map, and it'll take me to the website, and I'll see everything in real time, where all the collectibles are, where I could find out what time of day legendaries pop, what areas that they pop in. And also it'll be key, because Madame Nazari is like, where's Waldo? 1 minute she's here, next minute she's there, and it's always trying to find her. But the collector role map will show you exactly where she is in real time, every single day, every single moment. So I wish I knew about that map earlier, because it'll make that collector role significantly easier for me. And one of the last things I wish I knew that Gus is actually a better option than Harriet at times, because Gus does not give you a negative. There's never a point where Gus is going to pepper spray you or anything like that, or penalize you for sedating animals opposed to smoking them. Well, Harriet, she's going to penalize you opposed to giving you a pass when you have to do some of those honey things, right? So I wish I would have focused more on Gus and less on Harriet. Now, don't get me wrong, Harry has a lot of benefits, but those cooldowns, man, they were so annoying in the beginning of the game. It was like every single time I felt like I went to her, she was pepper spraying me for something that I did to a rabbit or ran over, something like that. It was just dumb. So I wish I would have focused more on Gus in the beginning than Harry, and then went to Harry once I pretty much maxed out my everything with Gus. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Hopefully, it was helpful in some way, shape, or form. And if it was, man, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hit that like button so it goes out to anybody else that want to get tips on Red Dead Online. That will help them out, especially in the early game. So that's it for this one, man. I'm up out of here, man, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.